South Africa will soon host the G20. Now, even if you're not into politics, or even if you have a very kind of indifferent attitude, what difference will it make? The reality is that South Africa hosting this summit will affect every one of us as citizens of this country, from how the city operates to how public money is spent. Whilst it's a summit, right? So the conclusions are not legally binding. The deals that are struck at the summit can have an impact, either positive or negative, on our economy, on food prices, on the cost of living in our country. So here are some of the key questions that every South African needs to be asking as the hype starts to build ahead of the G20 group of 20 summit that is to take place in South Africa. The first is, what does it mean for ordinary South Africans? It's a lot about prestige that, on the global stage, South Africa is hosting it. But are there real social and economic benefits for us on the ground? That's the first question. The second question is, to host this now, upgrades are taking place. We can see what's happening in and around the city of Johannesburg. But who's paying? For years after the Soccer World Cup, we had to pay off the debt. Will this be the same? The second then is, where's the money coming from? Is it coming from a national budget, a provincial budget, the city budget? And more importantly, corruption, tenders, right? Tenders are being given out for the work to get done timeously ahead of the hosting of this summit. The larger the contracts, the larger the temptation. So to what extent is there transparency on these tender processes? Or will we be sitting with scandals after the summit is over? Then on the political front, right, we're going to be sitting at the table with countries that have moved sharply to the right, like Argentina. And we're seeing political parties like the Patriotic Alliance becoming very right-wing in South Africa. How will this impact on the politics in South Africa? Having an Indian representative or an Indian leader pushing a Hindutva agenda, the Argentinian leader knowing what agenda he's pushing, how will that impact on political parties that have similar political ideologies here in South Africa? What are the political alignments within the GNU, or the G20 rather? Because we know that there are pro-Zionist positions in parts of the G20. What will that impact in terms of the trade-offs that will be taking place at this summit, and in particular in relation to South Africa? Then there are also questions around people who are being removed from the city from a human rights perspective to clean up the city. This big cleanup. What is due to process being followed? Where are they being taken to? The vulnerable? Where are they being relocated to? All the laws being upheld? And then the extra cost. There are already rumors starting to circulate that public servants are expected to work overtime, but they're not going to be compensated either in terms of time off or extra time. Or if they're going to be compensated, where's the money coming from? Where's the budget that was allocated? So in short, whether you follow politics or not, hosting the G20 will shape our cities in terms of how it looks, in terms of how public money is spent, in terms of possible corruption, and also in terms of decisions, economic and political. Whilst the outcomes are not legally binding, but there are deals that could be struck and that could impact on you and I as citizens of this country, either positively or negatively. Right, so that's